Hey, howdy. So I technically have other things that I want to do today. But, before I do Four Heroes, which I am going to get to later today, I was thinking to myself, I kind of want to do some Yumatuki today. These games are such a comfort for me, so may as well, right? While I yap about things that have been happening recently. And I kind of want to go to this daily, to Heartfelt Eclipse C. I saw this, and frankly, that's the reason why I started recording. I saw that, and I went, ooh, that could be fun. So, nothing really new has happened with me, but I do want to mention that I've been getting some particularly ridiculous ads recently. The same as it ever was. The, the YouTube algorithm truly has no idea what to do with me. So I will get ads for more or less for the highest bidder. That I'll just get whatever ad is getting shoveled into everyone else's feed, and then the occasional, extremely weird, specific ad that I'm not even sure how it arises. The one that came to mind recently because I ended up going to Smoothie King with a couple of friends. Oh, nice, this is Rifle Wasteland. How do you even get to Rifle Wasteland from here? Oh. Okay, I see. That's relatively simple. So, I ended up going to Smoothie King recently. And... oh god. First off, before I say anything else, my friends and I tried the Heinz Ketchup Smoothie King smoothie, because my friends saw it and went, this looks ridiculous, I want to try it. And I have literally never been to a Smoothie King in my life, so I bit, and I ended up going, and it was okay. I'll talk more about that in a bit, but when I was, earlier on in the summer, I was doing research about Smoothie King, and I thought to myself, it's Smoothie King. It's such a weird restaurant to me, if you can even call it a restaurant. I like that moon up there. It's such a weird restaurant, if you can even call it a restaurant, because unlike Starbucks, it's not they don't get any business. I don't even know what to think of it, because they don't get any business from the breakfast crowd. At least I don't think they do. They operate almost entirely off of health food, and that's such a weird business model, but it seems to have worked. Like they've been around for a long time. And I doubt they're going away anytime soon. That looks horrifying. Let's go through the blood door. Oh, no transition in or anything. Ooh. Oh! Good morning. It's like halfway between Vizine World and Pink Sea from Yumaniki. I wonder if it'll let me back. No, it won't. Okay, I see. I guess because there's a teleport that probably causes issues. I wonder if there's a Ponico event in here. But, I was looking up Smoothie King's menu near the start of the summer, because it was one of the things on my big to-do list before the summer was over, that I wanted to try Smoothie King at least once. And then, maybe if it's okay, I'll go back some other time, but... you know how it is. It's Smoothie King, right? Smoothie King's whole shtick seems to be health foods, and I'm not really... I've never really vibed with health foods as a concept, because most of the issues that arise from having poor health have nothing to do with, eating protein powder every day. It's more about, a general diet, exercise, like mental health. So I've never really drank that Kool-Aid. But when I was looking it up, I ended up finding like it was 99% health food. I think the one thing that I remember that was particularly weird and ridiculous was they had like an Incredible Hulk shake or something like that. They had like a weird green health shake. And they also had a bunch of stuff that was specifically branded around GLP-1s, which I suppose if you're watching this from the future and you don't know what GLP-1s are, they are a class of weight loss drug that's currently really popular because it's relatively low in, on paper it's relatively low investment and it's good for losing weight, but it causes a lot of annoying side effects and it's led to a lot of people being hospitalized because of them. But it is like the hot button, this is a weight loss drug that actually works, wow. So, I found the word GLP-1 on, I assume the Smoothie King smoothie was like part of a diet. I don't know, I'm still walking around in here. I gotta wait until there's a map before I explore around in there, because I guarantee there's some kind of weird business going on in there, like a Ponico event. Let's do Windswept Fields, nice. But what I was saying, GLP-1s. I don't know exactly what the, I don't know what the smoothie was supposed to do. I don't know if it was supposed to be part of a diet or something, but I had never heard of it in my life. I looked up the words GLP-1 on Google, and then from the moment I did that, I immediately got a bunch of really aggressive ads for GLP-1s the minute after. There was also the time where I don't know what exactly spurred this on, but I have a theory. Oh shit, wait, this is Coffee Cup World. Hang on. I accidentally turned to gingerbread. Where is Coffee Cup World around here? Cheese House. Is it in the mini area? Accessible from this side with a mouse mask, or the other side with certain masks. Okay. What's the normal way to get here again? It's been ages. Lemonade Edifice, okay. And then Candy World, I can... Lemonade Edifice or also Red Lily Sea, so that's probably going to be the faster route. There was another time, and I still don't know for sure if this is what triggered it, but this is just my random thought. I looked up the population of, or it was like, a population of Argentina, or I think I looked up, like, what language. Maybe I looked up, like, what is the distribution of languages spoken in Argentina, if I remember correctly. And then, from that point forward, I got a bunch of Google ads entirely in Spanish, and I think from that point forward, Google got really confused, because maybe this is just me making overgeneralizations, but a problem that I've noticed with the internet, in like its modern incarnation, is that the internet is just really heavily cordoned off by country, way more than it was originally intended to be, because it's called the World Wide Web, right? But especially with the way that things like advertiser programs work, and like those kinds of algorithms, they just don't work if someone has a very weird and abstract pattern of searching for things. Because after a certain point, the algorithm just has to guess what they like, and usually that guess is wrong. So it leads to a lot of funny situations. Man, my laptop is whirring today. Apologies if I sound a little bit more muffled than usual, but that's the... I mean, that'll do it. And I really wish that I could record without using noise cancellation, but unfortunately, it is what it is. One of these days, once I have more capital, I kind of want to invest in a better laptop, but I'm saving up money right now in preparation for going back up to grad school, because I'm gonna have to pay rent for a couple of months on my own, which means I'm gonna need money stocked up. And I'm also gonna have to, buy groceries and live for a little bit. This area is hilarious to me, because if I remember correctly, I don't think it's specifically Red Hood. It is specifically Red Hood. I think it's Red Hood and also Red Hood plus Teru Teru. All of the NPCs will just be super aggressive and run up to you. Because you're not blue. You're not blue, you're red. Go away. But yeah, I ended up going to Smoothie King and I got the ketchup smoothie. And if you want my opinion on it, it was, kind of uninteresting. I wish we were still in the era of stuff like the Baskin-Robbins ketchup, the Baskin-Robbins ketchup flavor, where it's just completely insane. Who the hell would even order this kind of stuff? I feel like we're slowly leaving the Bean Boozled era of you're only gonna buy this if you're gonna give it to a friend as a joke. Which is unfortunate, but I feel like there's probably some correlation there between that and economic stability, because you would only ever buy that if you had money to spare. Maybe that's just correlation implying causation. Maybe I'm just talking out my butt here. But it was surprisingly disappointing. Not for reasons I was expecting, because it was nasty after a certain point. But they kind of cheated a little bit, because 99% of the taste was... Ooh, right, this area is cute. Kind of a funky looking windmill, but this area is adorable. You try and get a shot with the clouds. Yeah. They kind of cheated, and it's unfortunate, because it is basically a strawberry shake infused with tomatoes, infused with ketchup. Oh wait, this is Forest World, Garden World. Now, it's not that bad on paper, and it's not that bad in practice either. It kind of just tasted like a strawberry shake with a very weird aftertaste. It just tasted like... It tasted like someone made a strawberry shake in a cup that had already been used for something else. So it tasted like strawberry, but there was like this weird, indescribable aftertaste. However, that was only while the shake was slushy. When the shake melted, it 100% tasted like ketchup, and it was nauseating, and... At that point, I was also a little disappointed, because, like, they tried to have it both ways, where it was a real shake and it was also a gimmick. But I feel like I would have liked it more if it was just a gimmick. Or, like, lean into the crazy. Oh, no, this is the wrong place. Where's Chain World? It's the chain painting second row. Okay. Almost just instinctually went to Dream Park. Oops. Ah, I keep forgetting you don't have to interact with those. It just takes you there immediately. Chain World, hello. But something I've been noticing is that there have been a bunch of really, really, really aggressive Heinz ad campaigns recently. And it's kind of fascinating to me because, Heinz is already such a massive, pervasive brand that you'd think they wouldn't need to do stuff like that. And it leads me to believe that there's been a word on the wind for a while about a Kraft Heinz, not even a merger, a breakup. That Kraft and Heinz are going to split again because they merged in a mega merger. I ended up reading an article about this. They split in a they combined in a mega merger back in, I believe it was I think it was 2015? I think I'm getting that date wrong. And now, after roughly 10 years, that there's thoughts that they're going to split again, because once they split, the combined company of Kraft and Heinz ended up losing a lot of money because the Kraft stuff just lost a lot of value, more or less, not necessarily overnight. If I remember from the article, that the loss in valuation happened around like 2019, so like right before COVID, where the economy was doing really well. And I don't know if COVID ended up recouping any of that loss. I don't think so. But I think they're planning on just re-splitting to try and make back some of that loss, which is interesting. And it almost makes me wonder if that's why they're being so aggressive. Because they're trying to make the Kraft brand more obviously a Kraft brand, and not just we're the guys that make ketchup and mustard. I mean, it's kind of a crackpot theory, but I'd be willing to believe it. Because off the top of my head, I'm gonna wait for the static to pass before I continue this conversation. I always forget if there's some trigger for this. There you go. I can never tell if you're supposed to keep walking there or if it's just a timing thing. I think you're supposed to keep walking there. So, and by the way, I guess I'm going to, not Lavender Waters, I'm going to Rainy Apartments now, because the free expedition is to Bubble World. So, recently, I got 3 different ads for Heinz products that, frankly, all 3 of them, none of them had any business to exist. It was purely, like, marketing fluff, because they know they can. This bike. I wonder if this cues into any of the like overarching story of these sections, because I still have to. I'm not going to do it today because I kind of want to take the shorter route, but I do want to poke around on the left side in the forest and do the Shimako stuff, because I still haven't done any of that stuff since it was added. I think I went around that forest area exactly once. It was that one, if I remember the video, it was look at this cool wheel, and it was just me wandering around like an idiot. But now that I have a map and the wiki page to work with, I can seek out the lore and do the Shimako event in its entirety. But anyway, as far as Heinz products go, there were 3 different ads that I got for 3 different Heinz products, and frankly, none of them really deserve to exist. The first one that I got, that was easily the most egregious, was breakfast ketchup. Now here's the thing. There is nothing stopping you from just putting ketchup on your breakfast. Like regular ketchup. I'm 90% sure there are a lot of people that put ketchup on eggs sometimes. Like, it's not a regular thing, but it's like, it's a ketchup on steak. There's some people that just like it. And I do wonder to what extent that comes from, like, earlier, like, American ideology revolving around food and having more limited resources and more limited options. But there was a time where people put ketchup on basically everything. And now that time is basically past. Ketchup is more of a condiment for meats and potatoes, and that's basically it. Yeah, I'd say that's accurate. But Heinz seems to be doing this push to make it more of a widespread put-it-on-everything condiment again. That's kind of fascinating, because, the breakfast ketchup, it was the laziest thing I have ever seen in my life. It was an extremely smug ad about how, hey, by the way, you can put ketchup on anything. You can put ketchup on toast, you can put ketchup on eggs. It wasn't selling the product at all, it just said you can put ketchup on breakfast. But the product itself is literally just ketchup in a maple syrup jug, and I imagine it's like slightly more watery, slightly more sugar, probably a lot more sugar if I had to guess. But it's just ketchup. Like, it's just... It puzzles me so much. The second thing was the Heinz Smoothie King smoothie, which I should probably address how I, like, my general review of it. On, like, a number scale, because I already talked through how I felt about it. When it was slush and when it was, like, a full-on smoothie, I probably would give it, like, a 6.5. I probably wouldn't drink it again, but it was, again, it had that taste as if you made a strawberry not even a milkshake, you made a strawberry smoothie, so it's just strawberry, with no, like, no sugar or anything, so it's just really, like, weirdly tart. But it was okay. I probably wouldn't get it again. But then when it was thawed, it just, like, the ketchup flavor started coming out, and then it went from a 6.5 to, like, a 4, because it just started tasting like ketchup. Which I probably should have expected. But that one is also it's a very perplexing one to me. Because it almost feels like it's capitalizing on a pop culture inside joke. Because I saw an article, like, talking about, like, yeah, this exists now, and it was talking about how, like, oh, is ketchup a smoothie? Smoothie King weighs in with an answer. Or, I guess Heinz weighs in with an answer. And it makes me wonder if that's the reason why that product exists in the first place. Just feels like a very weird, surface-level product. Not really sure, I'm not sure how to feel about it at all. Red and gray. Okay. And the third one was I saw an ad, and I think it's starting to pop back up, but it was, like, gone for a while. It was an ad for more just Heinz. It was basically like Heinz generic burger sauce. And again, it fascinates me because, like, okay, you have that on the shelf now. That's an option for people that want it, and people will probably buy it because it's Heinz. But why bother going out of your way to advertise it so aggressively? To the point that I'm seeing ads for it regularly on YouTube. Like, what's the... I just don't quite understand what the end goal is here. Let me see if I can do this blind. Probably gonna get lost. Hang on. Oblique Hell, this is... Hang on, I have to, like, analyze the design of this. I think this is... one's straight below... Is this Streetlight Docks? Oop, hang on, let me go back the other direction. I kind of want to check what this even is. And I still gotta get into Antiquated Bathhouse as well. That's another thing I have to do at some point. What we got? Oh, it's Glowing Tree Path. Nice. I like this area. Okay. Ah, okay. Right, because Critter Village is there, I went straight and then a little bit down, so Glowing Tree Path, and then... So I was going the right way. I just have to go up and then down and then up, and then get to those snaking paths. This'll work. But it puzzles me, and then I thought about it for a little bit, and I almost wonder if they're being super aggressive with their ad campaigns now to try and value Heinz at a higher amount for when that merger happens. Or for, not merger, I keep wanting to call it a merger. It's not a merger, it's the opposite. For when that split happens. Because at least in theory, they're going to lose a lot of value just by virtue of losing an entire chunk of their company. But I think they're beefing up their brands, basically like building up rations so that that's not going to be a problem, which is interesting. But again, I think we're out of the we're kind of out of the era of weird and wacky condiments because everyone is hunkering down economically right now. Everyone is fearing for the recession that might not even happen, but probably will happen. Did I just completely miss it? I think I did. Okay, hang on. Oh, wait, am I... Did I walk in I walked in a total circle, didn't I? That's the... that's the door I came out of. Boo boo boo. It's here. Ooh. I've always walked right past this. This is neat. I wonder if I can get a shot of the eye. Nah, it's gonna be way too fast. There we go. I wonder if that girl is supposed to be Shimako. I actually don't know that for certain. I, sw I swear I could do this place blindfolded. There you are. I only made one mistake. And even then I immediately recognized that it was a mistake. Let's see if I can get lucky here. There you are. Easy. Do I want to play Hozo today? I think I'm fine, honestly. I kind of just want to chill. But yeah, that's basically all I got. It's been kind of a chill episode. Thanks so much for watching, y'all.